Hello and welcome to Reddit on Reddit, the internet's auditory version of Reddit. I'm Nelson Allingham, joined by Michael Campbell.
I've decided to come back again this week.
What?
I am tossing up whether or not I just quit the show without telling you. But you know what? I've shown up, so
Okay,
don't call me hero.
I mean, I wouldn't be sitting here if you weren't.
I like to think that you would have got to the point of being like, hello, and then looked over at an empty chair and be like, I knew there was something missing.
It's going to happen one day. He warned me of it.
And then, not only that, but upload it still so that the listener can still hear that empty interaction.
I would. I just want to let you know, if you're just totally unavailable for a week, there's going to be an episode just me.
Okay. You wouldn't get a guest in?
No.
I wonder how much shorter that episode would be.
Yeah. I think I might ramble longer.
Well, that's what I want.
You've got the themes in front of you.
Well, that's
it's much harder to transition.
I can, yeah, that's true. But like whether you would ramble to try and fill time and make it longer, or whether we spur each other on in really negative ways and go on a lot of tangents, and that makes it longer.
I think the thing is,
maybe it ended up exactly the same.
Because quite often I will think that we're going too short. So I kind of sometimes lengthen what we're talking about.
You always underestimate the AMA.
Yeah. And so I think that if it was just me, I'd be like, it would be like 10 times worse because I'm like, oh, it's just me. I think maybe I need to speak for longer than I usually would. And then, 40 minutes for Ask Reddit. Longest episode ever. You won't even be in it.
Yeah, that's true.
Campbell, I'd like to tell you also about earlier today.
Yep.
I decided that there is a feeling, unlike no other,
okay,
that I encourage listeners to try and attain.
Sure.
And it's the feeling of bliss, joy, and ecstasy, some might say.
The drug.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And this is when you buy petrol at a really low price, and then the next day skyrockets.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
It skyrocketed today.
And
I felt it.
Yeah.
Because yesterday, driving home being like, oh, I do need petrol, but you know what? I have to go out tomorrow.
You've had the exact opposite experience.
And because I've got a very small car.
Yeah.
And I always pride myself that I've never paid over $50 to fill a tank.
Right, yeah.
Like that's how small my car is.
Yeah.
And today, it was climbing ever higher. 48, 49. I'm like, surely not. Nelson, 52.
Oh my! Oh Lord!
Can you believe such a thing?
Oh, we are right now. We are experiencing opposite complete opposite emotions. Because my God, it felt good. I bought it at 121.9. Today I saw it at 169.9.
Nelson, this is what the listeners come for: the highs and the lows in the very same episode.
Pretty insane. Pretty insane. You know what? You joke around, but everybody can relate to that if you've got a license and you're driving and paying for petrol. And under specific circumstances.
It is a feeling of like, you feel like you're some really savvy like money saver, even though you didn't know that was going to happen. You're like, yeah, I did know that. Yeah, that's why I got it yesterday.
It's honestly like, I feel it's the same rush as just betting at the casino. you don't control the odds. Putting your chips on top of a number on roulette, it doesn't change anything.
Because similar to this, sometimes, you fill up at a reasonable price, but then you go out the next day and it's lower. I know.
That's so annoying. You're like, oh my God, this is the cheapest I've seen it in like a fortnight. I'll get some petrol.
Yeah.
And then the next day, even lower.
It's similar to like, how no one ever knows at what point to buy Bitcoin?
Yeah.
You're like, oh, it's dipped a bit. Do I buy it now or will it keep dipping? And then I feel like an idiot.
Yeah.
Or will it rise again?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. That's
petrol. Or gas, for our American listeners, is the
they have
original.
No idea what we're talking about.
The original Bitcoin.
Yeah, yep, that's right. Anyway, all I'm saying, buy low.
Yeah.
Sell high. I've never thought about selling petrol
So
at a higher price later on.
Yeah.
Why don't I do that?
You go and buy it when it's low.
I got it at 121. It's now 169.
Yeah, and then
I could sell it at like 140.
So are you outside of a petrol station being like,
yeah, I think so.
Oi,
just with a
come
can.
Here, come here.
Yeah.
They're selling at 169. I'll do 159.
Yeah. I reckon.
Yeah, you'd have to have a big tub.
Yeah, it's just like one can's worth. It's 2 liters. Like
you earn like $70.
Yeah, $4. All right, let's get into it, Cambo.
Okay.
This first Reddit on Reddit. Oh my lord, something's happening with my phone. It's fine. I got it. Nope, I don't. It's good. I got it. This first Reddit on Reddit is by Blue Zircon Boy. And this was in the subreddit No Stupid Questions. They say, what is, in your opinion, the ideal number of chuggas before you say choo-choo?
What? Like 2?
So,
I don't know. Wait,
Oh my God, I can't. Oh, you went for 2 chuggas? Can't believe. Look, this. I like to think that some listeners come to this podcast for answers.
Yeah, sorry.
Okay.
No,
and you've just whimsically said 2 chuggas followed by a choo-choo. Are you insane?
Nelson,
that is definitely the incorrect answer.
Nelson,
I know that there might be like a bit of leeway.
Yeah.
But 2 is incorrect.
In my defense, what has happened there is I was still trying to work out what this question meant. And in my defense again, I historically on the show have been pretty good at calculating information that's given to me and then providing an answer right away. And you've just seen me falter. I've been like, chugga chew. Maybe it's just the word chew and 2 in my mind was so similar that I was like, 2.
I see.
12.
Oh, no, too much. Well,
is it really?
Look, I'm saying you might be in the leeway. I like how you did that as well.
Yeah,
you just went silent, started counting on your fingers. That is exactly the way that I did it when I read this.
Yeah, 12.
Oh, 12?
Yeah.
No. Chugga, chugga, chugga.
Because then...
Chugga, 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 chugga. Choo choo, it's 8, I think. Chugga chugga
Nelson.
chugga 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 choo choo, it's 8. It's so 8.
Nelson, the amount of coal that your train is going through with 8 and then a choo choo getting all that steam out compared to my 12, my efficiencies are through the fucking roof.
No, I think you're going.
I'm getting more chuggers to my chews.
I think you're. Well, that's a problem, mate.
No,
I think you're putting in too much coal.
Well, and I'm going longer for...
It's going faster. Yeah. You can hit somebody.
No, you just
if you're going 8 chuggers, okay,
you just
then
realized
there is a leeway for when there's a man with a thin mustache and he's tied somebody up on the tracks. Mm-hmm. If you're going 8 chuggers, you stop putting coal in. You just nudge that person. 12 chuggers, that person is mincemeat.
Can I say I suspect that halfway through you're objecting to my point, you realize you didn't have as good a point as you thought, and you went more ridiculous with your answer of you might hit someone.
No. Look, it's not. Look. Okay, I'm not denying that you might hit somebody with 12 chuggers. Okay, that's a valid reason that you need to consider. But 8 chuggers is just the right amount of chuggers.
Well, that's the thing. That's what I've always said. There's different chuggers for different people.
Yeah.
You know, you've always wondered why I've said it for years, and this is what I've been talking about.
Yeah,
I'm a 12 chugger man. I belong to a 12 chugger family.
Okay,
yeah, that's how the Campbells roll.
Well,
with 12 chugs to a tube.
I think we're enemies now. I think that's
does your family, when you're singing happy birthday,
does
your family add and many more at the end?
No.
Yeah, good. Get that out of here.
Okay, good. Oh,
sometimes you get a family that does it, and I'm like, what the hell is this?
Yeah. Or why was he what's that thing that people sing at the end sometimes? The additional song that's like I can't remember how it starts, but then he goes, why was he born at all?
Oh, I don't know that one. That's a horrible song.
What the? Oh, it's going to annoy me for the rest of the episode.
There's probably someone listening, like, screaming it.
Yeah, yeah, pretty much. Oh, it'll be me when I'm listening back to this episode. Nelson, you idiot. But yeah, it's a good point.
I guess we've just agreed now.
No, not on the Chuggas. Not on the Chuggas, mate. On the birthday thing for sure. Chuggas? You're 12 Chuggas? Yeah, ridiculous. Okay. All right? I want people to write in. Sure. How many Chuggas? Is it 8 Chuggas or 12 Chuggas? If it's 2 Chuggas, get the fuck out of here.
If it's any other number, also get the fuck out of here.
Yeah. I don't think... Okay, I think specifically if it's an odd number, get right out of town. Okay.
On the train.
Yeah.
You get on the train, get out of town.
And then count the Chuggas. And then you'll know. It's never even. I'm never odd. Because chugga, 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 choo-choo. Wrong. It's just wrong. Chugga, 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 chugga. Oh, you know what? I'd accept 4.
Yeah. Yeah, 4 did sound right to me as well. But I think...
Chugga, 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 chugga.
I think...
Chugga, chugga. It's not 6.
Oh, dude, we need to move on.
Yeah, I think we do. Do you know what was funny? I was like, this might only last a few seconds, but I'm glad we've disagreed because we could go a lot further with that. Anyway, let's get to Ask Reddit. Ask Reddit. This Ask Reddit is by Ami Gadala 5822. When is quantity better than quality? I mean, sex, obviously. Am I right? Am I right?
Would you accept like bills of money? Like you can have heaps of $100 bills, but they're kind of tattered and old and messy.
Or maybe coins.
Or coins, you know, yeah, they're dented
got
and
a lot
dirty
of coins. Nobody wants to.
You get more of them. That's when quantity.
That's a loophole. I don't think that counts.
Well, and also that's specific to us. Like I know, for instance, in the US, their money is paper, which if that gets really damaged, that's ruined. But we have some weird we have some weird sci-fi money. It's like some kind of weird plastic that's been like
from outer space.
Yeah, it's from outer space. It glows.
Not a particular planet. Just outer space.
Yeah, no.
Scoop it up with a net.
Apparently, the patent for that plastic we have then sold to other countries because it's like some kind of like weird. Yeah, we got plastic money.
Okay. Yeah.
So yeah, for us, I guess it's less of an issue, but yeah, it depends on your currency. That's how they get you.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to veto that. Okay. I know you're trying to think of the loophole because don't worry. I appreciate a good loophole.
Yeah, I know.
All right? And later on, you'll find out. I've got a whole segment about loopholes, all right?
Loopholes are roughly 60% of this show.
Yeah, that's right. But I think you need to veto it because currency has a value, and that value doesn't just... Unless literally the money is nothing, and then in that case, I don't want what's of useless money. Because essentially you've just got paper that you can't even write on.
I'm actually finding this a tough one because I find that the older I get, and I'm pretty old in my late 20s.
Yeah.
The older I get, the more I prefer quality over quantity. But in my youth, I was all about quantity over quality.
Yes, right.
So, like, say for instance, like a coffee table, right? I would.
You'd have 3 coffee tables.
No, but I would have just been like, I'll get a $20 coffee table, and if it breaks, I'll get another one. If it breaks, I'll get another one. It's fine.
Yeah.
I'll only ever be at $60 with 3 coffee tables.
Yeah.
Whereas now, I would want a good quality coffee table that'll just.
You want to spend more, yeah.
It's a difficult one. Do you have anything?
You know, it's funny that I just realized this is going to branch off to another topic that we sort of spoken about. Well, I don't know if it quite counts, right? But you and your girlfriend were teasing me recently because I have runners, some shoes that I have had for 8 years.
Yeah.
And they're kind of a bit frayed and, looking a bit worn.
Yeah.
But I'm standing by the fact that they still work, and that's all I need from shoes. And so I feel like that's kind of obviously I don't have the quantity, But to me, I'm like, the quality's fine. So, I'm like settling for a lesser quality. So maybe in some other instances where it is quantity over quality, I maybe would choose quantity more.
But here's the thing. You haven't gone with quality for your shoes, but you also haven't gone with quantity for your shoes.
No. Maybe I should buy...
You've broken the rule.
I should buy lots of really bad shoes.
Yeah, yeah. And then you will have picked quantity over quality.
Yeah.
But at the moment, you picked neither.
Yeah. I'm going to turn that on its head because then I think that I have bought quality runners because they've lasted so long.
Okay. So
and I'm worried about just churning through a lot of runners. Because I actually do think that in terms of, it's why often I won't buy new things. It's because I think it's a waste most of the time. So I just need, one thing and it'll last me forever. And so I think in general terms, I do try and find quality.
So are we saying that there's nothing that's better quantity over quality?
I mean, sex can be obviously. No, you know what? I'm not sure about that one.
It depends on the quantity to quality ratio.
Yeah.
Is it a little bit better but far less?
Yeah.
Or is it way more but just not quite as good?
Yeah.
That really does tip the scale.
Yeah. This is what I want to know.
Yeah.
If me masturbating is better than the sex, then no. Don't need the sex.
Right. So if it's just even a little bit better than masturbation, quantity
then quantity. Yeah.
That's the thing. We always have additional questions
to
all of these things, but no one can answer them.
Yeah, that's right.
It's the real flaw of this show.
Do you know, I think obviously it is a bit easier to answer quality over quantity, but one that I think is the number one spot that takes that quality over quantity is toilet paper.
That's good.
I don't think if I was in a store and I had to choose between like 2 squares of 3-ply paper or like a roll of the sandpaper that you sometimes get in a public toilet, I would choose the 2, and I will make those 2 squares last. Let me tell you, 3-ply. You can fold that over plenty of times. But yeah, I reckon that's the top tier.
It's funny because in your home, when maybe you have a nicer toilet paper, you do use less quantity because it's quality. But if you're in a public restroom, I use so much and I don't need it.
Yeah,
I don't know why I use so much. It's just like it's there, it's free. I'm just going to use a little bit more, I guess. I don't need this much.
Gambe, you are the cause of global warming.
One of them, yeah.
It's this wastage. Well, yeah. I mean, I feel better about like how I live my life.
I don't do it maliciously, but sometimes I'll just like pull a big thing. I'm like, what? Why'd I get that much? What have I done that for?
I think it's because it seems a little bit gross, and it is 1-ply.
And I guess I don't trust the quality of it.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, then I'll get more of it.
I need to fold.
I'll make
this
it 3-ply.
6 times over, just so I can at least try to improve the quality just a little bit. Do you know? This funny thing about toilet paper, right? Have you ever taken a roll of toilet paper, no matter what ply, and not folded it?
No.
Why don't they make just like a 6-ply toilet paper?
Yeah, I wonder if it's now just so ingrained in us that even if it's 6-ply, we'll be like,
we'll just fold it anyway.
What though? That 12-ply is all right.
Yeah, it's good. Like wiping your bum with a pillow.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind that, Cambo.
Yeah.
Tell you what. There's probably I bet you there's a law about it or something. Well, I might have that coming up later.
Okay.
I don't. Not this specifically. But I bet you there's a lot.
That's good. Tease something that's not coming up. That's really good hosting, Dawson.
And we got a special guest coming up. We don't.
Please welcome. We don't have a guest.
Oh, God. Get good toilet paper is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Here's another one, Cambo.
Okay.
It's by Greedo Grindhouse.
Ooh.
Fast walkers of Reddit. How do we make our own country and keep the slow walking people who take up the whole sidewalk out?
Well, I think that is overkill. I'm being honest.
Okay.
Start with a town.
Yeah. expand from there. Do we have a lot of land? Like, are we going to war to expand this town into the country?
Greedo has really comprehended. Let's say that he is the president of this new country, and he's like, I'm walking around all the time. Everyone's walking as fast as me, and then he realizes all the legislation that he now has to do to run a country. Is it worth walking around a little more comfortably on the street?
Right. But he's got the responsibility of potentially millions of people.
Yeah.
Just all of a sudden comes up on you.
Yeah.
Like, all I wanted was a fast-walking country.
He's got to go to the UN.
Now I'm having to think about, keeping peace.
Yeah.
among the
do we
people.
do healthcare?
Oh,
No.
Oh,
half the people want it, half the people don't.
There's so many issues with that.
And then, what if I'm elected out?
Yeah.
Or am I a dictator now? Oh my God. Was it worth it, Greedo?
He didn't think this one through.
I don't think he did.
Let me tell you about that.
I tell you what, mayor of a town is so much easier.
Yeah.
Start there.
Start as mayor.
Because you know what? You might start the town, walk around and be like, it's not that much better.
Oh, okay.
Because here's the thing.
Yeah.
Speed is relative to like a lot of things.
Yeah.
So people that are normally fast walkers might, for some reason or another, have to walk slower one day, and there's like, what's he doing here?
But you know what? I think you're still improving the problem, because if you have like a minimum miles per hour, kilometers per hour in which people have to walk, it's like, well, at least I'm walking. I generally walk faster, but at least I'm walking 6 kilometers per hour.
Do you consider yourself a fast walker?
I think so. I reckon maybe a slightly above average. I'm not a fast walker,
right?
But I overtake.
Yeah,
is what I'm saying.
I'd be, I think, in the same camp as you. I'm not like a speed walker, but I think, I do tend to overtake a lot of people when I'm walking. But I have never felt that strongly about slow walk. It happens so inconsistently to me. And then whenever it does happen, I'm like, I need to get past them. And then I'm always like, where am I going? I'm not going anywhere important.
Go on 7-Eleven. Get some Doritos. What am I doing?
Yeah. So I'm also thinking about that, Greedo. Where are you going?
Yeah.
Where are you going? You got to get there so fast.
But Doritos are good.
Yep.
So want to get them as fast as you can, possibly. No, because it's super frustrating. Is what I'm going to say. Okay, I don't have to be anywhere. You're right. There is nowhere that I have to be that's so important. But walking behind a slow person is probably the worst thing in the world.
But are you often behind a slow person that you can't overtake?
Yeah, like sometimes in the city.
But it's so rare.
Yeah, but it's inconvenient, isn't it?
It's inconvenient sometimes. The smallest amount of times, it's sometimes a little bit inconvenient.
Yeah.
Let's start a nation.
Yeah.
Greedo, you haven't thought it through, mate.
No, I'm getting on board. The more I think about this, the more I think it's fine.
You can be the czar of the country.
No. I think this is what you should be able to do.
Yeah.
Is everybody can carry around. We can have slow people in the country, but they are seen as lesser people.
Right.
It is a form of racism, if you will. Accepted racism. Speedism, we'll call it.
Speedism, sure.
Yeah. And there's classes of people.
Right.
And
you're starting some kind of dystopian land, but based on walking speed.
Yeah.
Right. So are the people walking slow in like rags and then everyone that's walking fast is in like a nice tailored suit?
Business suit and stuff.
Yeah, it reminds me maybe of like the Hunger Games.
Yeah.
Whenever they go to the Capitol and all the people at the Capitol are very decadent and very extravagant.
Yeah, they're
all
the
the people
fast
out
walkers.
in the, I forgot what they're called, like districts, I think.
Yeah.
Are like very poor. Is that but it's all to do with walking speed.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I think that should be how it happens. And I think there's the police, walking police, obviously. They're set up in stations, and if you're walking too slow and you're wearing a suit, they take a suit off you.
But can someone go from being a lowly slow walker to a top of the class fast walker?
I think once you've been knocked down a peg, it's not as easy to get back up
so
again.
The class
You can. It's a possibility. Actually, Canberra, I'm just going to be honest with you. The fast walkers tell the slow walkers it's a possibility, but we never actually give any of the slow walkers
is
a
the
chance.
class system rigged?
Yeah. Occasionally, we'll have propaganda news stories of how a slow person became a fast person. But it's just fake. Yeah, it's totally fake.
Made it never up. A slow person.
Never a slow person.
You've had to slow the footage of them down.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, because they've never walked slow in their life. I think I'm okay with this country now.
Yeah, you've done it.
It's gonna happen.
What you've done is you've fleshed out an ill thought out plan.
Yeah. Thank me later.
By introducing a ruthless class system.
Yeah. All right, let's get into Today I Learned. So now it's time for Today I Learned. Today I Learned. This Today I Learned is by Spaghetti13. Today I learned that fireworks are totally illegal in Florida, but are sold to ordinary people in huge quantities via hundreds of stores across the state to anyone who signs a waiver saying they're for agricultural use to scare birds away from crops. Now, Canberra, I brought this up obviously because we love a loophole.
We love a loophole.
And by default, we love Florida.
Yep.
I
think we paid it out last week, but...
Did we?
Yeah.
Yeah, we did too.
But we do love it, obviously.
Changed our mind. Yeah. Very, very easy to change our mind, to be honest. But this got me interested in
Florida.
In laws in general.
Yeah.
And I thought, what's a law that we could exploit? Find the loophole, make a few bucks out of it. Because obviously, these fireworks guys are laughing their way to the bank.
Yeah.
You know?
Or
with the waiver forms in hand.
Or I like to also think that maybe they're always just so disappointed. They're like, they told us it was for scaring away birds for agriculture. And then I see they've used it at a fair. And I didn't see a single bird there. I'm going to be honest with you.
Or just the different types of fireworks that you can get. I like that they've got this, extravagant New Year's Eve bomb 2000 and it just, like, it's pretty, but not scaring any birds away, are they?
Or you could be like, I understand that you want all these decadent ones, but these cheap ones, they'll scare the birds just as well. No, give me the... It's like, I'm telling you, it's a waste of money.
Yeah, trying to save you a few bucks. I don't know why you want this one.
It's detrimental to me, because I'd be making more money selling you this, but I just wanted you to know that there's bargains to be had with just these run-of-the-mill ones.
Yeah. I don't know. But so I thought, well, maybe I'll just look up some laws in Australia and other parts of the world. I looked up some laws in Australia and some in different parts of America.
Yep.
And so I thought, look, some are just there because they're interesting laws that exist. But also, Canberra, if you can think of a loophole,
right,
I'm all ears.
Yeah. So what this is a communal brainstorming session. Yep. Listeners, you are involved.
You can join in. Find the loophole. Find the way to make us money.
Yep.
So I'm thinking.
And if you find a really good loophole, we'll cut you into 2%.
Yeah. It's a good deal. We don't tell them the percent, Canberra. We say we'll cut you in.
Yeah, it's good.
It's going to be 2%, but we don't tell them that.
All right, cut this bit out and I'll go again.
Okay.
If you find the loophole, we'll cut you in. Wink. Oh, no.
You even said wink. I don't know.
And then I didn't wink.
You were wide-eyed. I'm so confused. Okay. So this one, these first few are in Australia. The first one I have is it's illegal to dress up as Batman and Robin.
Really?
Yeah.
Because I've done that.
God, Batman and Robin.
I was actually Robin.
Was that Two-Face?
Well, no, that's a different one of the photos of me in my mother's house, I believe, is a photo of me dressed up as Robin with my best friend who was dressed up as Batman. Yeah. Also, he was younger and shorter than me, so it was very confusing.
Oh. Yeah. How did you
I don't because
get that deal?
Because he got the Batman costume first,
Right. Yeah,
so then I'm like, well, I guess I'll get the Robin one because then we can be Batman and Robin.
Yeah, yeah.
But then Robin was taller and older than Batman. Anyway, it didn't make sense. But anyway,
yeah.
I'm a rebel. What of it?
Yeah.
Nah. Some cops walk past and we're just like, fuck the police.
Yeah. That reminds me of a stupid story, actually, of when me and my friend, there used to be a television show called Mr. Bumpy. Is that what it's called? Did you ever watch that?
No.
Anyway, and there was Mr. Bumpy and Squishington. Right. And Squishington was like this cute character, and so we'd pretend to be the characters.
Yeah.
And I was really good at doing Squishington's voice. And one time, my friend was like, can you be Mr. Bumpy and I can be Squishington? And I was like, no, but I'm really good at the voice. I feel like this same conversation would have happened with you and your friend. We're like, well, can I be Batman? Because I'm tall. And he's like, I've got the costume, man.
I did.
It's kind of my costume. Yeah.
Do you think there's something in this that it's illegal to dress up as Batman and Robin? Because technically being Batman is illegal.
Yeah.
What he's doing is illegal.
Yeah, vigilante.
And Australia's just trying to stamp it out.
Okay, yeah.
It's like, we don't even want to lead to that possibility.
Yeah.
That's crazy. But what about comic book conventions and stuff? There's always people dressed up as Batman.
Illegal.
Why aren't they getting tackled to the ground?
Maybe.
You know what? Let's be snitches. We'll go into the police station and be like, hey, heads up.
Yeah.
There's a couple of Batman and Robins over there you might want to take down.
Yeah.
And they're like, what? They get all their riot gear out and they run across the street.
Just start tear gassing the whole convention.
Oh, don't even get me started on Harley Quinn.
We have to ask for money first. Did you have that part? We need a profit from this.
The cops pay us for the tip.
Yeah. We say, hey, we've got this tip.
And then hand the money out.
Yeah.
Put the hand out for the money.
Yeah. Then we tell them there's Batman and Robin. We get paid for that. I'd be like, it's against the law, so...
And the irony in the city that we live in, Melbourne, presumably this is illegal, yet we have an avenue in the city called Batman Avenue.
It's a legal street.
Yeah.
Lots of legal stuff goes on
I
don't
like it when people call it Batman, which is it technically is called. I'm like, no, Batman
It's
Avenue.
Batman.
Yeah.
You know what's funny, actually? You reminded me before. So there was a convention in Melbourne City, and it was like the marijuana convention. And so marijuana is still illegal in Australia, Victoria in particular. And so the funny thing was that, because I have a friend who works in the convention center, she just said that the whole, like everywhere on the outside, heaps of people were just smoking weed. And so then after a few hours, the cops just turned up. And like there's people kind of scattering around. I was like, what did anybody think was going to happen?
Wait a minute. Were we around that day? Did we snitch on him? Imagine if one of them was dressed as Batman. They tackle him to the ground. He's like, oh, man, come on. It's the weed convention. He's like, oh, we're not getting you for that.
Yeah.
We're getting you for the costume.
Yeah, we had some snitches over there that told us about you. Okay, here's another one.
Okay.
Touching electric wires that cause instant death will give you a $200 fine.
I do like the idea of someone writing out the ticket, tearing it off, and just putting it on the corpse and be like, well, your wife can pay that, obviously.
Yeah. Don't think you can get out of this just because you're dead.
But wait, so it's just touching a wire that could cause it. So even if you touch it and it doesn't cause it, it's like, oh, you're lucky. I mean, not super lucky. You got this fine.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Like if the wires were just off or something, somebody turned the power off them. Like technically,
installing them is that's why it's so expensive to get them installed. The guy's like, it's $4,000 because I'm going to get fined.
Yeah, every time I touch them.
Every time I touch these, put it in the room. I might break even on this job.
Here's another one. This is legal to do, actually.
Ooh.
It is legal to urinate on the rear left tire of your vehicle.
Interesting.
I feel like that could come in handy.
Yeah, trying to think of a loophole here of like
how we can make money.
Like what we do. This is going to be hard to it'd be an honesty system, which I don't love.
Okay.
But we've driven across the Nullarbor Plain.
Yeah.
Right? And there's big stretches of nothing out there.
Yeah.
Well, we buy old crappy cars.
Yeah.
Park them along the sides of the road with a little sign being like, you can pee on this wheel.
Yeah,
And,
okay.
you know, that's fine.
Yeah.
No one can get you for anything there.
Okay.
But they have to leave like money.
Leave money, right?
But
Yeah.
because then the cost to have an employee there all the time is so much more expensive.
Is it an employee camper or is it a snitch? Catching people peeing in the wrong place.
That's true, because then we've got a whole other revenue stream of blackmail.
Yeah. That's what I think.
Yeah.
Like, hey, so you didn't pee on our tire. So
Or what if we set up a fence next to the car that doesn't have any sign, so presumably it's free to pee there, right? And then what we do is we put in the fence, instead of normal wire that could instantly kill you. It's obviously turned off.
Yeah, I'll turn it on.
But no, because then how are we going to?
Oh yeah, they'll die.
But if they go, I'm not going to pay for this tire. I'm going to go pee on this fence.
Yeah,
that's $200 fine from us.
Oh my god! I think we need to become cops first for a lot of this stuff.
Yeah.
Let's knock out the middlemen, which are the cops, and we'll become the cops.
Yeah.
That's good. We'll catch the Batman and Robins.
Yeah.
Fine people for touching electric wires that we've set up.
Comic-Cons are just an absolute cash cow.
Oh my god, so much money. Okay, I'm going to run through a few quick ones, maybe.
Sure.
It's illegal for children to buy cigarettes, but there's no law forbidding them to smoke them.
Ooh.
Actually, you know what? I said we have to quickly go on, but that one's easy.
Yeah. Buy cigarettes for kids.
Buy cigarettes for kids.
I was right there with you, Nelson. Don't you worry about that.
I'll leave like a cigarette on the ground.
Yeah.
And when a kid comes to pick it up, I'll say, "Hey, do you want to pay to use my lighter?"
Nelson, is it illegal to give in goodwill a child a packet of cigarettes?
Probably.
So I'm not, because here's what I think happens.
Let's say that's legal.
He gives you a friendly $20 just because you're paying, right?
Yeah.
And you're chuffed. You go and buy a pack of cigarettes.
Yeah.
And then you run into him again. You're like, I'm so chuffed about the $20. You know what? You know how chuffed I am? Have this pack of cigarettes.
You're the best. Have some ciggies. Smoke them to your heart's content.
You don't give him the packet. You pour the packet out into his hand.
Yeah.
You're not giving him a packet of cigarettes. You're giving him cigarettes, which it is not illegal for him to smoke.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good.
Or I am thinking like just a similar version where we just sell lighters, but it comes with a free packet of cigarettes. The lighters are super expensive. Yeah. It's like, what, $50 for a lighter?
Yeah.
But free cigarettes. That's good. Okay. All Aussie bars are required by law to provide a stable water and feed for the horses of their customers.
Okay. And is there a fine if they don't?
Sure.
So then this is where us being police come in.
Mm-hmm.
I'll
You'll ride it off
with my horse.
Yeah, police horse. They have those.
Well,
it's not that uncommon.
No, this is a sting, Nelson.
Yeah,
I arrive on my horse, being like, "Where do I put this for the water and the feed?" And like, "What are you talking about?" I said, "Well, you legally have to provide that for me."
Yeah.
Then in come you in your police uniform, being like, "Hello."
Yeah.
What's going? Why isn't this man's horse eating a bit of food? Oh, I'm gonna have to fine you.
Oh, you're funny. Also, I bought my horse.
Wait, funny thing, we're gonna need
double
the fine. We're gonna need the fine in cash from the till.
Yeah. Yeah. Good, solid plan. Yeah. All right, next law. Here we go. It is illegal to wear hot pink pants after midday on a Sunday.
That was just good. That's good sense.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't want to get anybody for that, if I'm going to be honest with you. Okay, let me quickly run through some... okay, these ones we're actually going to quickly run through. Okay, Camber.
Yep.
There are places in America, so I'll tell you what state and stuff. Sure. And then... so these first few are from New York. A fine of $25 can be levied for flirting.
Ooh.
Oh, mate, that's easy money right there. No, it's not. It's going to be real hard to act nonchalant and hope that girls flirt with me. It's actually real hard. Yeah. Okay. While riding in an elevator, one must talk to no one and fold his hands while looking toward the door.
That's good law.
Bloody brilliant.
Good law.
Bloody brilliant. Why? bring that everywhere.
Yeah.
Sick of talking to people.
Hey, how are you? What, you want to fine?
Shut up. Keep your hands forward. Stand towards the door. A person may not walk around on Sundays with an ice cream cone in his or her pocket.
Wait, whether or not it's full of ice cream?
It doesn't say. Ooh. Just the ice cream cone. That's so specific.
Because they won't
New York, what happened?
Yeah. That's what I always want to know about any of these laws is what happened.
Yeah.
Like, I'm pretty sure there's someone in America that it's illegal to tie a horse to a lamppost.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, what happened?
Yeah.
Because something definitely happened where someone's like, that's not illegal.
Yeah.
You can't get me on that. And they're like, oh, we're going to have to make it illegal, I guess.
I mean, I see that one I can see a bit more. Then I imagine somebody's tied their horse to a lamp. They've slapped the horse on the ass.
Yeah.
He's taken the lamp with them, killed 3 children.
But that's what I mean. Then they've been like, you can't do that. He's like, can't I?
Yeah.
And they've been like,
They're like, oh,
not anymore.
Yeah. He's like, oh, that's a bummer, but wasn't illegal.
Like, right. Well, you're the last one that could ever do that.
Yeah. Okay. The penalty for jumping off a building is death.
Yeah, it'd suck if you didn't die, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
You jumped off like 6 stories and you're severely injured and you're like, oh, no.
Yeah.
I wanted to die. And they're like, well, you're in luck.
Yeah.
What we'll do, we'll get you better. Then we'll kill you.
Or I like somebody trying to talk somebody down. Hey, if you jump from there, you'll get a death penalty.
Do you have any idea what the penalty is if you jump?
Yeah. Death. You don't want that on your hands. Again, women may go topless in public, providing it is not being used as a business. Let's go to New York. This is Texas. Up to a felony charge can be levied for promoting the use of or owning more than 6 dildos.
Promoting the use of?
Just promoting it. Like, oh, hey, you should use 6 dildos. Yeah. To somebody in the street, against the law, mate.
You never know what I love. 6 dildos. And someone's like, mate, you know I'm a cop. What are you doing? You can't be promoting that in here.
Or I like the idea that you're talking about 5 dildos to somebody.
Yeah.
And the cop comes out. He's like, hey, what are you doing? I'm like, it's just 5 dildos, man.
Yeah.
I'm only talking about 5 dildos.
Yeah.
Oh, you're lucky.
Or there was like, so I got my 5 dildos and then, the other thing. And then you guys say, well, what's the other thing? I can't say. You can imagine what the other thing is. It's similar to the 5 dildos.
Yeah. But lips are sealed.
For legal reasons, can't tell you what it is.
Okay. A recently passed anti-crime law requires criminals to give their victims 24 hours notice, either orally or in writing, and to explain the nature of the crime to be committed. It's nice.
That's
convenient thing to do.
That's very cordial.
Yeah.
Like, hello. Oh, hello. I like the look of your TV, and I know that you won't be around tomorrow, so I do have to inform you, I'm gonna steal it.
Gonna take it.
I know you probably have security measures. I will cut them.
That's another law I'm gonna break.
And they were like, I mean, did you want to take it now? No.
Whoa. Were you trying to... Is it a scam? You a snitch? Huh?
That's very good, sir.
Almost got me.
You're trying to set me up there. No.
I do like the fact that it just implies that you can get away with it.
Yeah. It's like
just
24 hours later, he's walking out the back window with the TV under his arm. The cops turn up and he's like, what are you doing? He's like, it's still illegal. What you're doing is still... It's like, right, because of the stealing.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's right. Okay, when 2 trains meet each other at a railroad crossing, each shall come to a full stop, and neither shall proceed until the other has gone.
Okay. What?
Idiots. Idiot Texans or something.
Texans.
Texasans. I think that's what they called. Okay, the last one. So these are by the way, the states that are most popular with us, our podcast.
Oh,
believe it or not.
Very clever.
And so the last
Nelson.
one was California.
Ooh.
But I couldn't find any really interesting ones in California in general. There's a couple that this references the specific cities within California. So this one is in Belvedere. No dog shall be in a public place without its master on a leash.
Its master on a leash?
Yeah, yeah.
Wow.
Real backwards over there, aren't they?
More like Holly Weird, am I right?
Oh my God, you got him. But it's in Belvedere.
Ugh.
Belvedere weird. Doesn't work. In Blythe, you are not permitted to wear cowboy boots unless you already own at least 2 cows. I like that law.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Anybody who goes around wearing cowboy boots is a bit pretentious if you don't own any cows.
Yeah.
Okay? You know, at least 2 cows. It can't even just be 1. You can't even quickly pick up yourself a cow.
Yeah,
Need
to justify the boots.
Yeah.
Because 1 cow you can maybe get away with.
You can manage.
But 2 cows, you've committed.
Then you're a cowboy.
You've committed to having cows.
Yeah, you're a cowboy then. It's fine. Anyway, that went for a lot longer than I thought it would. But I thought some of those laws were interesting.
Yeah, they are. And I do like those odd, obscure laws that, no one's ever going to enforce. But it's good to know that we can snitch on more things now.
I do remember, just quickly, I actually think it was maybe in Australia. I'm not 100% sure. But they found this real old loophole in getting a ticket, like a parking ticket. You could either pay it or you could fight the ticket inspector to death. And so they took this to court.
Wow.
And he ended up winning because the ticket inspector... if I was a ticket inspector, I'd be like, all right, bring it on. Let's do this.
I'm going to call you a bluff.
Yeah. All right, let's get into shower thoughts.
Shower thoughts, shower thoughts, shower thoughts, shower thoughts.
This shower thought is by Say Little Do Much. Drinking water while going swimming in the rain on a cruise ship at sea is the ultimate aquatic experience. Try and get Cambo.
Yeah, no,
try and get more aquatic than that. Can't do it, can you? Just try.
Peeing yourself.
It's pretty good.
Yeah. You're like urinating at the same time.
Yeah.
Because then the water's going in and it's coming out.
It's coming out.
Yeah. At the moment, it's just got water going in like a real chump.
No, you've done it.
Yeah.
This next one's by Hufflepuff Fluff.
Okay.
It just really sucks that you have to make a lot of important life choices when you are least qualified to make them.
Well, here's one that I want to point out is how young you have to be when you have to decide what your signature is.
Oh, I'm glad you brought that up.
Yeah.
That's one of the first things where you're like, this is going to stick with me for the rest of my life.
Yep.
Mine's not great. Totally know that at the time. Mine's horrible. Yeah. Do you know what my mom did? My mom obviously, because when I was younger, I actually used to sign RAPH, R-A-P-H, because I was in a Catholic primary school.
Sure.
And when I did my confirmation, you do like communion and then confirmation. In your confirmation, you choose a saint's name to sort of be part of your own. And so I chose Raphael because Ninja Turtles, obviously. and I had to. I still know he's like led some blind person through a forest or something like that. Or maybe he was blind. I don't know. It was very confusing. And so I just thought it was a cool name. So then I started my signature as Raph. Not even Raphael, just Raph.
Yeah, it's just Raph, man.
And then I think I explained that to my mum one day, and she was like, no. Dawson, this is not going to hold up in the court one day when you really need it to.
I do like the idea that you would start introducing yourself and like, oh, hi, I'm Nelson. You can call me Raph.
Yeah. Or just, I sign my name, Raphael. What? No, just in case it comes up, you know? Just in case we're going to sign a contract, I want to let you know that's how I sign my name.
Look, if we ever sign onto some kind of big network with this podcast, would you sign it as Raph?
Well, maybe I will. Maybe I will. But I think the funny thing is my mom actually, you saw this, is appalled. So then she tried to start thinking of ways in which I could sign my name, and I still do a hybrid of that to this day.
Really?
I think she thought to try and get me on the RAF, get me off the RAF, she would do the, appeal to my cool hip, youth side that was all about electronics and technology.
When she was doing this, did she turn her seat backwards and sit on it like backwards like a cool guy?
Yeah.
That's how you appeal to kids.
Yeah, cat backwards, sitting backwards
and
on
she's
the chair.
just like, look, bro.
Yeah.
I get it.
Wait, first she did a kickflip.
Yes,
obviously.
Yes,
and I was like, man, that's radical. And so she said, my last name, obviously Allingham, starts with A. She said, oh, when you could do an N and then an @ symbol for the Allingham and then like do some other fancy stuff.
Nelson Attingham.
And so that's kind of what I sort of do that.
Right.
I mean, it doesn't look like an @ symbol, but I just kind of do something funny with the A.
Right.
And it still looks horrible.
Right.
I'm really ashamed of my signature.
Mine was my dad's. I looked at my dad's.
Okay.
And he just kind of writes his name, but on a slant.
Yeah.
And kind of like very spiky and quickly cursive.
Yeah.
And he just writes his whole name out.
Yeah.
I was like, that's good enough.
Yeah.
So I just did that. I wrote Steven.
Yeah.
I just wrote my name slanted.
I really hate signatures though.
Yeah, they're the worst.
I think. Like, I'm glad that we don't have to do it anymore for like credit cards and stuff.
Yeah.
And it's all about fingerprints.
Yep.
Can't screw that up.
Yep, that's true.
Unless you put your hand in acid. Oh, then you can screw it up.
Then you have to write your signature up.
Oh, no. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Okay, here's another one. I just burped into the mic a little bit. Is that gross?
Yes.
Okay.
This is our lowest point on the show. 140 odd episodes, you've done it. You've hit your lowest point.
I'm just comfortable with the listeners.
That's true.
And you.
Well,
So,
I mean,
think about
we're spoiler alert about to do something pretty embarrassing to all the listeners just
Yes.
for their enjoyment. So at this point,
What do we got to lose?
yeah.
Okay. This is by E-Team Wes. People aren't addicted to their phones. They're addicted to the feeling of being connected to other people that their phone enables. What do you think about that concept as an idea?
Yeah, there's something in it, but there is also something in there are these really interesting interviews with people that kind of study this, and even like the pigments of blue that they use in certain apps are the most appealing version of that as well. And when that is being done over and over and over again to get you to always want to open it.
Yeah.
I think that also, things like that also, like there is psychology behind drawing you into your phone as well. That is a part of it, is being connected. But I think there's more to it than that.
I think what's interesting though is that so I understand that idea, right? Of like wanting to optimize that addiction, but it's not necessarily what came first, which is why I think this statement is like interesting, because I think the that concept, they were like, oh, we'll just sort of make it addictive or make it more like appealing afterwards, I think was definitely there, because it's like if you had an app that wasn't connected to other people, like games and things like that, right?
Yeah.
I can't think of an as addictive, or so let's say as commonly used app that isn't a social media element, that you're not connected with other people. I mean, I think there are, like, obviously games like Angry Birds and Bejeweled and
still
stuff,
a social
like
element to it,
Candy Crush, for example. Yeah, there's still social elements to that. In fact, like, I know a lot of friends that still play, but they are basically just playing because when they catch up with their friends, they talk about who's winning in the like levels and things like that.
Right.
And so I think that there's always this sort of element. And even then, and even though that's like, Candy Crush and stuff is still so popular, it's not as popular as that social media that, so nothing can be that addictive that doesn't include that sort of connectedness with people thing. And I just think it's a really interesting concept that it's almost not as... It's not as antisocial as we think it is. Like, it still sort of is. Actually, I had another today I learned that apparently we're using antisocial wrong. And people are asocial when for what we mean to be antisocial. And antisocial is if you're literally against society. You're anti-society. So just a little fun fact there.
Yeah. Do you ever have those apps that you never use but you haven't deleted?
I quite regularly go through my phone and delete them.
Like I've still got the Stocks app.
Yeah. What? Oh no, because you can't delete that one.
I can't.
I think I've tried.
Is that why I still have it?
Yeah.
Because I don't know why I still have it.
All the like Apple standard ones you can't get rid of.
Really?
Yeah.
That's crazy. Yeah.
I kind of work out like I sometimes will go through and be like, oh, have I used that recently or will I use it in future? And if I haven't, then I just delete it straight away.
Yeah. Am I going to use iTunes U? Maybe. I'll keep it.
But yes, anyway, I just thought that was an interesting shower thought.
Yeah, it's quite interesting.
And we're an interesting podcast. So
five stars
bring those two together.
5 stars on Spotify or iTunes.
That's what I'd rate us right now if I was somebody listening to this comment. Anyway, let's get into podnapping.
Oh my God, I'm being podnapped.
Podnapping.
All right, so this is Podnapping, where we nap a pod. Last week, I actually asked people to write in because we were I found a podcast called Karaok Big E, and they do karaoke on their podcast.
Yep.
And so I asked listeners to write in and send us through like a duet song that they thought that we could do.
Yeah.
We had a few people write in.
Yeah, no. Unfortunately.
We had No Air suggested to us.
Yep.
We had Summer Lovin' by Grease suggested.
Bohemian Rhapsody.
Bohemian Rhapsody.
That one's
There was
hard.
another Beyonce song as well, I think. But what we've ended up going with is a song that I was very fond of as a younger child.
Sure.
In fact, did a little dance party.
Oh, really?
Yep, for my family.
Back in your DJ days, which we've talked about on this show a little bit,
I'm a
did
young
this
guy, I
song
think.
feature?
It was a little bit before the time of the DJing, I think.
Okay.
But it's just a long time ago. I remember being like maybe 8, 7.
So, we are about to sing.
Yeah.
A couple of things I would like to preface. One, you're a better singer than me, so you've got the meatier part.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Actually, it is kind of funny that I think without really speaking about it, we both instantly assumed I was having the girl.
Yeah. And two, these microphones are not made for singing.
Yeah.
They're condensed microphones for speaking.
Yeah.
So if we sound bad, it's probably the microphones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also the lyrics, the like karaoke video that we have that we're going to be playing on our iPad is a little out of sync. So
Yes.
if we kind of stuff up, I think it's going to be because of that.
Scrub through this. Some lyrics are pretty problematic. So
Are they really?
Yeah.
Oh crap.
Shall we reveal what we're going to perform?
Maybe we
Nelson?
just play it.
No, because then if they don't recognize it, because we've butchered it so badly.
Okay. Oh God, I went into that badly.
well-
There's a backing track.
Well, here's the thing, dear listener, is it's not the highest quality karaoke video we've got.
Yeah.
So it doesn't do a countdown.
Yeah.
It does just begin.
Yeah.
So it may start a little sloppy, but we will be performing by Aqua,
Yeah.
Barbie Girl.
Barbie girl.
Okay. Is everyone ready?
I'm ready.
All right. Hiya, Barbie.
Hi, Ken.
You want to go for a ride?
Sure, Ken.
Jump in.
I'm a Barbie girl in a Barbie world. Life in plastic, it's fantastic. You can brush my hair, undress me everywhere. Imagination, life is your creation.
Come on, Barbie, let's go party.
I'm a Barbie girl in a Barbie world. Life in plastic, it's fantastic. You can brush my hair, undress me everywhere. Imagination, life is your creation. I'm a blonde bimbo girl in a fantasy world. Dress me up, make it back, I'm your dolly.
You're my dough, rock and roll, feel the glamour and pain. Kiss me here, touch me there, hanky-panky.
You can touch, you can play, if you say
Come on, Barbie, let's go party.
Yeah.
Come on, Barbie, let's go party.
Ooh.
Come on, Barbie, let's go party.
Yeah.
Come on, Barbie, let's go party.
Make me walk, make me talk, do whatever you please.
Problematic.
I can act like a star, I can beg on my knees.
Come jump in, be my friend, let us do it again. Hit the town, fool around, let's go party.
You can touch, you can play. If you say I'm always yours, you can touch, you can play. If you say I'm always yours.
Come on, Barbie, let's go party.
Yeah.
Come on, Barbie, let's go party.
Ooh.
Come on, Barbie, let's go party.
Yeah.
Come on, Barbie, let's go party.
I'm a Barbie girl in a Barbie world. Life in plastic, it's fantastic. You can brush my hair and dress me everywhere. Imagination, life is your creation. I'm a Barbie girl in a Barbie world. Life in plastic, it's fantastic. You can brush my hair and dress me everywhere. Imagination, life is your creation.
Come on, Barbie, let's go party.
Yeah.
Come on, Barbie, let's go party.
Woo, woo.
Come on, Barbie, let's go party.
Yeah.
Come on, Barbie, let's go party.
Ooh, ooh. Oh, I'm having so much fun.
Well, Barbie, we're just getting started.
Oh, I love you, Ken.
What a performance. How do you feel about that going out to the world?
Went a little longer than I thought it would.
Yeah. Yeah, someone pointed out.
Do you know what? I'm going to say it though. Very catchy tune.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
we were bopping along, all right, to that banger.
credit to you to keep that voice up for the whole thing, which is why you were chosen, because I just get to come in every now and then go, oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
But the lyrics.
Hey, you do a great Ken.
Oh,
Hey, you do a great Ken.
Thank you. Lyrics more interesting than you remember them.
Yeah. She says bimbo
Yeah.
and hanky panky.
Yeah. I know they're talking about dolls, but I think they're also talking about sex, if I'm being honest.
Oh my god, I just got that.
Yeah, there's Barbie Girl.
There's Barbie Girl. There's probably quicker podnapping than the rest. But yes, that was from the podcast Karaok Biggie.
Yes, quicker, but probably felt longer.
Felt like an eternity.
Oh, and still, I had the easier part, and I still messed up once, and you did it. So that's.
No, it really did throw me off. The like every time it started a new screen, I felt like I was missing the timing on it because it was like
delayed
too much. But yeah.
Oh well.
Anyway, what was that like?
Yeah.
Any good? You still listening? Have you turned it off?
I feel like that will be something that eventually will come back to haunt us.
Yeah, I think so.
Like, you know, at one of our 50th birthdays, when people are like, remember that podcast you used to do? We're like, no. Well, here's a clip from it. Oh, no.
Oh, shit.
Oh, well. AMA?
Yeah, let's get to AMA. Oh, yeah, I forgot I need to introduce the next segment.
Yeah.
Just so thrown off. AMA, where listeners of the show, just like you, listener, you still listening?
Yep.
Can ask us anything you want.
Yeah, I've got one here from someone we haven't heard from a couple of weeks, Cousin Rowan.
Cousin
Our favorite of the show.
Rowan.
I would say maybe best friend of the show.
Oh,
Yeah,
could be.
yeah, well.
I mean, they're all best friends.
Yeah.
But he's the best friend.
Yeah. you know when like you've got a group of friends, you're like, you're all my best friends, but then you look at one of them and nod.
And you wink.
Yeah, that's Rowan. That's you.
Yeah.
Gentlemen, well, it seems your listenership is growing, not anymore, with some more AMAs rolling in. You have advised that your back catalogue is not your best work, but I suggest they listen to two of your best, 86 and 108.
I appreciate that you know that.
Yeah, that's crazy. I don't know what those episodes are.
Yeah.
Even if you read the titles, I'd be like, oh, what?
Yeah.
That is nice that you're pointing out that like they are good ones from our back catalogue because we're advising people that our back catalogue's not that good. But we also just sung Barbie Girl for like 3 minutes 20.
Yeah.
So
our future catalog doesn't look that great either, does it?
And for people that don't know, Nelson, you add a little tag to our first episode just being like, look, it's not great.
Oh, yeah. Just recently. We noticed a lot of people listened to the first episode. So I was like, you know what? Should warn people.
Yeah. I had to open a bottle of sesame seed oil with a bottle opener recently, which immediately triggered me to grab a beer. It made me think about vices and others I have. The other I have is licorice. Can't help but eat it by the handful. AMA 88.0. What are your vices?
Heroin.
Cousin. Oh, wow. I thought you kicked it, but you're back on it.
No, it's one of my vices.
Bloody heroin! I tell you what, it's I take some. I think that's enough. And I always want more of it. It's crazy.
Yeah. It's whenever I watch that movie Candy with Heath Ledger.
I think this looks appealing.
It looks so good. Side note: if you want a really depressing movie to watch, it's quite a good one.
Yeah,
it will turn you off heroin.
Yeah,
or onto it.
That is because I think when people think of heroin movies, they generally think of Trainspotting. But that's a little Australian heroin movie for you.
Yeah, that's right.
But you didn't think
I don't know if did that get any like world acclaim at all?
I'm sure it got a very small international release.
Heath
probably.
Ledger, so he's pretty.
Yeah, there you go. There's we have our own little heroin movie.
Yeah.
It's vices. I reckon you know mine.
Chocolate.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that's true. Is there anything that triggers your vice? Because obviously, Ron's saying like he grabs a bottle opener and then he immediately thinks beer.
Well, just every time I have a meal, I need like just a little something sweet to satiate after like, especially if I'm out somewhere.
Yeah, right.
Like if I go out for dinner, I always have a craving, and it's probably just through like routine and patterns and stuff like that. Yeah. But yeah, I'll finish a meal and I won't be satisfied until I have something just a little bit sweet at the end.
Yeah.
And it doesn't even have to be much.
Yeah.
A lot of the time I buy the quite dark chocolate, and I'll just have 2 little squares of it each night after my dinner. I'm like, I'm done.
And then 2 squares after that.
Then heroin.
Because you need something after that.
But yeah, it's actually just eating triggers me.
I don't think that's a stupid thing at all. And I think like when I was, because mine was going to be smoking, right? Like I actually don't smoke. I haven't smoked a cigarette in a really long time.
Yeah.
And but I still crave it a lot.
I mean, buying for kids.
This is kind of it's funny if like, what's that vice and what's that craving, and like does it cross over? Because what you just described with the chocolate, right, is how I kind of like it is like, because that's what I feel with cigarettes. If I have alcohol at all, I want a cigarette really badly. And I spoke to a doctor about this once when I was trying to quit, and they basically said, look, you will kick the physical addiction of cigarettes, but there is for the rest of your life there'll be a mental addiction. And they talk about the same with like a gambling and with alcohol as well. There's like, if you have particular triggers, and it can be just like eating food or something, because I used to be more addicted to eating. I think about smoking after I ate food as well.
Right, okay.
Because that was often a thing, like I'd have dinner and then I'd have a cigarette or something. And I think that was because of work. Like I'd have my lunch break and then I'd have a cigarette on my lunch break because, then I had to go back to work for a while. So
you
it's
just
like
associated the two.
Yeah. And so, I just think it's one of those things that one triggers the other.
Yeah.
And so it is that sort of like addictive behavior that you might not ever get rid of in your life, which I think is so crazy. And nobody ever warns you about that.
Yeah.
When they talk about addiction or drugs or anything, the fact that you can kick the physical addiction, but you will never kick the mental addiction. But yeah, so I guess kind of smoking and all that in that way, but I don't do a lot. In terms of things that I let happen to me, the vices that I let in is, I think probably, I don't have necessarily anything that triggers it, but I actually quite like, I really like salty things.
Yeah, you're always eating like nuts and almonds and
like
cashews
nuts or Or even if I just get chips or something, I normally just get plain chips. Like, I'm really addicted to that salt thing. I think I blame my Italian mother that just puts salt in everything in my childhood. And that's all I want.
Put it in the ice cream. Put the salt on that.
Yeah. Oh, mate, got to put salt on your ice cream. Salted caramel? Oh, yeah. You thought I was an idiot until that became very popular.
Salted caramel. Probably a little more salt on that.
Put salted caramel.
Not salty enough.
Yeah. So I think that is kind of like a general thing. There's a lot of like salty things.
It's funny that ours come down to salt and sugar.
Yeah, that's like the two worst fucking things in the world. But yeah, but vices are interesting, right? And that's so. I think they can be, like scary sometimes if you get onto the wrong thing, like heroin. Right. Which was really tough to kick.
And Rowan, you know that you're a secret best friend, and not to disagree with you, licorice, I can't do it.
No, I love licorice. Yeah. That is like, it's funny, right? Because I don't really like sweet things, but one of the sweet things I love.
It's not sweet. It's
so
just, it's aniseed. And
it's like, it has a shit ton of sugar in it.
Yeah. but for something with so much sugar, I want it to be sweeter and not so weird and bitter. Yeah. But also, I'm aware, because controversially, I do like choc orange, which no one likes.
Yeah, right. Do you know what I just remembered is sort of something else? I find that I'm really influenced, and I only noticed this maybe like 6 months ago.
Yeah.
I'm really influenced from what's on the TV, and not necessarily ads, but what people are doing in what they're eating and drinking in TV.
Really?
Yeah, like if somebody's having a milkshake, I'll be like, oh, what a milkshake. Or like a tea, or like it can sort of just be anything. And that, like right now, I really want licorice.
Oh, really?
Wow. So much. Stop talking about heroin, Gavin. Stop talking about like money or something. It's good.
Money is good, yeah. I wish I had more of it.
Oh, I'm so hungry for money. Gonna eat it. Okay, here's another one. It's from Micah. He says, "Hey guys, it's Micah. You know what I don't do every time? I don't paste in the subject line, and Micah's is always a bit of a quip about subjects.
Have I been only getting part of the Micah correspondence?
You've only been getting, Jesus. If I'm going to be honest with you, 1/3.
Oh no,
he says a lot in the subject.
It's subject line and then PS.
Yeah,
and then that's the body of the email.
Yeah. But I just want to say, Micah, it's not going unnoticed, all right?
Well, by me it is.
Well, yeah, whatever. He says, my question is, what do you think you said that is most likely going to stop you from becoming president or prime minister? I don't know. Australia's is basically badass discount America. My bet is when Nelson said he would kill a dog for gold. Cheers, Micah. Micah, you'll be happy to know, just this weekend past, I tried to convince my friend that if I asked him how much money it would take for him to give up his dog. He said like $200.
Oh, really?
I could turn that dog into gold. Sell it for like
$400.
$400. That's a tidy $200 profit.
You could buy a dog. What would stop us, apart from our lack of experience and quality and
that hasn't stopped prime ministers before, let's be honest.
Understanding of anything to do with any policy ever.
Yeah.
What is superannuation and
yeah, I still don't think this is a hindrance.
Yeah,
from what I honestly, I think
that's true, and we are white men, which is in the positive for us.
Yeah, that's right.
Mike, there might be nothing stopping us. Oh, I'll be honest with you. You listen long enough, we might become prime minister of Australia.
This is definitely. I think the podcast is the doom to us ever becoming. I think things like, in fact, one I think of in particular is was the one we got an email about where I gave my views on what racism is, what I consider racism, which I even agreed wasn't totally 100% right.
Yeah,
maybe like 20% of the time it's correct. But I think it's enough that if I was running for prime minister, they'd hold on to that, and I'd just be like, "Yeah, I can't."
I mean, there's a fresh clip of us singing "Barbie Girl" that would do wonders.
Yeah, no way that would get us votes, mate. That'd get us votes for sure.
It's just like there was a guy from Triple J who ran for like a local parliament. Triple J is like a government-funded radio station here in Australia. For people that know, it's very, very like Indian. Like they're always like, "Hey guys, welcome to Triple J."
Yeah.
And one of the guys that used to be like a DJ there ran for like a local government, and he did his campaign ad was like an interpretive dance, and everyone's like, "That's so funny." I'm like, "It is funny. I won't vote for it."
Yeah, you're not going to vote for it. What an idiot. Yeah. I think actually a good one is Sweden and Switzerland.
Yep. Yeah.
Getting those confused.
Our international
all the time.
relations. I'll tell you what.
In the tank.
And we discovered we have a listenership in Sweden. They must be pissed.
yeah. That's true, actually.
Yeah. Oh boy.
Yeah, they're pretty annoyed.
Maybe they just listen.
Or do we talk well about them? I don't know.
Maybe just
we're
listenership
confused.
being like, listen to these idiots. They can't. Us in Switzerland, they think are interchangeable.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
our international relations would be pretty bad. Plus, if you have to deal with Florida, some weeks we slag it off, some weeks we big it up.
Yeah, true. I think I want to know something that you've said. That is there anything that you can? Because I think I say a lot of things that are like just blatantly rude, politically incorrect, insulting to people.
Maybe I'm more filtered on this show than I am in real life. In real life at my old job, I used to get a lot of flack for just how many jokes I would make about Paul Walker.
See, that's not that bad. It's not. I'm making jokes about like, I don't know, just offensive things.
Yeah, right.
Like I'll make a sly sexist comment every now and again. I'm always joking, but it's still enough to
the problem is because even when you do say jokingly sexist things, the problem is reading back a transcript.
Yeah, that's
which
right.
is what inevitably will happen.
Yeah, that's right.
And then Nelson said, "Why don't women stay in the kitchen?" And you're like, "Oh, well, you're not getting the tone."
Yeah.
You said it very jokingly.
But Cambo, why won't women stay in the kitchen?
Another nail in the
old
coffin.
No. I can't go right this again.
Right. Well, actually, I do censor myself on this podcast specifically so I can become prime minister. Once I'm in, Nelson, you're pretty much in.
Oh, that's true. We're kind of a 2-for-1 deal, aren't we?
Who's that guy that the prime minister's always with? That's Nelson. Yeah.
He's co-prime minister.
Like every nation address starts with like.
I mean, didn't we have this thing that people had to subscribe if you run the country? I think.
Yeah, something like that.
It's against the law otherwise. So,
that would be another one of those weird laws that someone will be reading to their friends. Be like, do you know in Australia, it's actually you legally have to subscribe to this podcast?
Yeah,
crazy.
God, we get so many listeners. But I think that's it.
Yeah, I think that's
so for me, a lot of stuff.
Yeah,
for me, Cambo,
undetermined.
There
must be something out there. If there's something horrible I've said in the podcast, let us know.
Yeah.
We need to scrub our history before we start our
before you get for prime minister. Yeah.
In fact, I'll ask you this, Rowan. In the episodes that you listed, there was like 86 and 108 or something like that. Yeah. Did I say anything like bad? Did I say anything offensive?
Maybe he knows. Yeah. But that's it. Thank you for writing in, Micah, and thank you for writing in, Rowan.
Yeah.
If you would like to write into us, you can do so. Reddit podcast, READIT podcast, gmail.com. You can also reach us on Facebook, at Twitter, and our subreddit. They're all READIT podcast.
And I know Rowan was kind of gloating on our behalf, being like, "Oh, you got a couple of emails there," but they're starting to run low now. So do send them back in.
We've got one in the bank, and then we need some more. So,
rate us on iTunes, subscribe to us on Spotify, wherever you bloody listen.
Should we ask the genericals? We're not sure if we're on Google Podcasts.
Yeah, can someone let us know?
Can someone check? You have to be outside of Australia.
Yeah.
Because we don't know.
We can't access it in Australia
Google
to know if we're on it.
Is racist.
Damn.
Would you believe it? Totally racist. So they don't like Australians. We can't get their podcasts over here, but we might be on the platform. We don't know.
Yeah, if we're on that platform, let us know. And if we are, subscribe.
So thanks for listening, and we will read you later.